Hello and welcome. My name is Anna Rose White and I'm here with Beehive Quilt Shop in Wellington, Kansas. My mom, Connie Hart, and I own Beehive Quilt Shop and Be Creative Toys in downtown Wellington, Kansas, which is just north of Oklahoma, south of Wichita. And we are very excited because this next weekend on October 20th of 2024, Kay Fassett and Brandon Mabley are going to be here in our community doing a lecture on the power of color and a book signing for the Quilts on an English Farm book, which I have just right over there. I'm holding another one of my other favorite books that's called Kay Fassett's Bold Blooms. And so we're really excited that they're going to be here in our community. We have loved Kay Fassett fabric. We have an entire wall, plus another corner, plus a whole bunch of cubbies, plus pre-cuts. We just have loved this fabric for years. And so we can't wait to bring their inspiration to all of you. But we wanted to give you a little bit of an overview if you're interested or you've seen these projects. Maybe you're watching this video after they've already been here and you won't be able to make it to the event, but we are going to continue to carry on their inspiration through our teaching, our workshops, and the things that we get to do. Plus, we will always have their publications and books here in stock at the shop. So Kay has published over 60 books on all kinds of different forms of artwork, but especially we're always interested in patchwork quilting. I love that Kate calls it patchwork. And so that's been an inspiration to me. But we this year are doing two different projects. We're doing Seed Packet and Country Snowball. Those are the two workshops that Kate and Brandon are going to be teaching. And they'll be taking people and helping them to establish your color vision for what these projects are. So if you're lucky enough to take one of these workshops, this is just another little overview of the recommended tools and supplies and things that would be nice to bring to the workshop. All of this is also on our website under these titles. But again, because we had so many questions about it and what we've done, we just wanted to share that with the rest of the world. So I'm holding this book, which is called Kay Fassett's Bold Blooms. And this book has the Seed Packet quilt inside of it. So it's actually in two different spots. It's on page, we had just looked this up and I just let go of it. It's on page 68, has the Seed Packet quilt, but then it's also on page 147 in this book is the book you're looking for if you are looking to get the instructions of how to do the Seed Packet quilt project if you're unable to take one of these workshops. So this is because we're always going to have fabric kits and it's a time. But part of it is that here's a book. It's called Kay Fassett's Timeless Themes. And so these are timeless projects that you can do with Kay's fabric, whether you just started collecting his materials or if you've had it for a long time. But 147 gives you the instructions of how to do that. So I highly recommend people that are taking the workshop to purchase this book, Bold Blooms, because Kay and Brandon are going to talk about it a lot, and you don't want to have you want to be prepared as much as possible. So Bold Blooms, it's a hardcover book in beautiful condition, but again, that's where it's going to have it. He's especially known for Seed Packet being I don't want to give you the instructions here, but the multicolored format of Seed Packet. So Seed Packet can be done in whatever your color vision is. So for some people, it is going to be the colors of the rainbow of all these different shapes of flowers. And for some of them, you may have it more condensed that you want pinks, reds, and yellows. But Kay and Brandon are going to take you on that spirit guide. But if you aren't lucky enough to be one of the people taking their workshop, you will want to take yourself on your own, which colors are most inspiring to you, and those are the ones you're going to use. So we have a variety of kits and tools for this project. So first I'm going to show you the tools, then I'm going to show you some of the fabric kits of how we've pulled some of these colors together. So first of all, if you're going to do either Country Snowballs, which is in the Kay's Quilts on an English Farm, which is the newest book that's come out in 2024. So that is where the pattern is for Country Snowballs. And again, Seed Packet is in Bold Blooms, is you want to have one of Kay's reduction lenses. So this is exactly what it is. It is a reduction lens. It comes with this beautiful lavender bag. Maybe it's the color of wisteria, but it has the Kay Fassett reducing lens shrinks quilt designs to appear as viewed from a distance, allowing you to critique your artwork for visual balance and symmetry. Ideal for small work areas and limited viewing space. Perfect for watercolor, millefleur, or pixel quilts. So I think This sounds pretty exceptional. So this is going to be something that if you are taking the workshop, this is already included in your workshop fee. So that you don't have to worry about purchasing an additional one of these. This will be at your table when you show up to the workshop, whether you're coming for Country Snowball or you're coming for the seed packet quilt. So the reduction lens is definitely a must-have from Kaffe. The other big thing you want to have is a sharp rotary cutter. So there are no sewing machines that you bring to the color workshop, because this is a workshop on color and the selection of prints and color. It is not a sewing piecing class. We know you know how to sew, and if not, we would love to teach you. But Kaffe and Brandon are going to be doing this on color. And so you want to have a sharp blade, because there's nothing better than a sharp blade. So we need a sharp blade. Our favorite brand happens to be Quilter Select. It works for left-handed and right-handed people. We also prefer Martelli rotary blades. So if you need new rotary blades, we always have these in stock. They're available in 2 counts, 5 counts, or 10 counts. And so that's the blade. Another thing you're going to want to have is rulers. So if you are going to be doing this, if you're doing this in the workshop, there's no cutting before class, because Kaffe and Brandon are going to give you guidance on that. But the rulers that are recommended for the workshop are a 6-inch ruler and a 3 1/4. Now, a 3 1/4 ruler hadn't existed. We haven't been able to find one. So we partnered up with some folks in town that have, in our community, that have a laser, and they made us our own custom acrylic templates that are 3 1/4. This is the workshop version sizes of rulers that you want to have on hand for this class. And so it is a transparent ruler, so it's great for fussy cutting. We just got them yesterday before this video was shot, and I did test it out last night at my house, and it worked really great. So it does have the 1/4 inch piecing, so you know what your seam allowance is, and it has the center, so you know what you're going to be centering for fussy cutting. The Quilter Select 6-inch ruler, it's not a 6.5 by 6.5, but it's a true 6.5-inch ruler. It has a dead center as well with 45-degree lines. So although this isn't a fussy cutting ruler, this size of ruler does work really well. So this is again a 6-inch by 6-inch ruler from Quilter Select. Another thing for the workshop supplies is that you want to have a long skinny ruler. They recommend a 6 by 18 at least. So a 6 by 18 would be down to, down to here. This happens to be a 6 by 24. So this is, you definitely want something that's going to be long, that's 6 inches, that you can visualize. So that is a ruler that we would recommend. If also, you're going to want to have your own cutting station. So we will have the workshop set up where we're at the Hive Retreat House. So in Wellington, Kansas, where Beehive Quilt Shop is, my mom, Connie Hart, who owns the business with me, she has a retreat house center. We bought an old funeral home and we turned it into a retreat house. And it's very spacious, beautifully lit, tons of electricity. But for this class, you don't need electricity. You just need yourself, your presence, and your color vision, and be open-minded to where Kaffe and Brandon lead you to through your projects and your best things. So you want to have a variety of Kaffe prints that you've brought with you to the workshop, what your kind of ideas for the color vision. They are going to take each an individual person shopping, so be prepared to go shopping. They'll be coming in before the lecture, and they'll be selecting bolts here in our store that we're going to have at the workshop. So we're going to have half-yard cuts there. We're also going to have yardage, and we will do whatever Kaffe and Brandon say, and we're very excited about it. So I'm very excited to see what they go shopping. I hope that they love our version of the K-Facet Collective stash that we've built up here at the shop. And my goodness, do we sell a lot of it. And every time a new bolt comes in, and then it gets cut, and then it's shrank, and then there's not much left. So you just have to buy it when you're inspired, because it really could be gone the next time you come. But you, instead of bringing a sewing machine, your number one tools are your rotary cutter, your ruler, and your cutting mat. So this is a great time that if you're coming to the workshop, you don't want to come to the workshop with an old cutting mat. You don't want to come with an old Fisker. You want to come with your best cutting mat that you have. So we do have the luxury that everyone will have more of a generous space than what I think has been at other workshops. So the minimum you need is a 12 by 18 cutting mat. So this one is from Creative Grids. This one is at the time of this video, it's $22.99, but this is a great cutting mat. It's printed on both sides. We like it. It's clear to see on, your color will show up, but this is a 12 by 18. Now at our venue for our workshop, we do have the luxury of space. And so we would really recommend that you can definitely bring a bigger cutting mat. So this is an 18 by 24 mat that's right behind me. And And that's what I would really ideally bring. So if you can bring an 18 by 24 cutting mat, if you don't have one of those and you want to get one for the workshop, we'll see you at the lecture and you can let us know, or we'll have them at your space, but this would definitely be something that I would bring. Plus you can come early and shop anytime at Beehive Quilt Shop. But this is a great mat. You can see it clearly fits a 6 by 24 inch ruler. It's going to be great. The other thing we really enjoy about it is, especially for workshops, and a project like this is perfect, but this is a tote. I think these are called Toteology, but these are, it's a large mat. It has clear plastic, it has zippers, but this perfectly fits an 18 by 24 cutting mat, and it's also going to fit your long ruler, so it keeps it flat and in a good condition, and then it just easily goes over your shoulder. So it's very fashionable. It's purple or it's in turquoise, and so not only is it practical, but it's beautiful, it's functional, and it's going to keep your investment safe. After the workshop, you'll be rolling up, we also furnish your design board, and your design wall is K-facet flannel that is printed on a grid wall, and so you're going to be able to roll your project up, and you're going to want something nice to put it in. So this would be a really great project to put project tote to roll up your quilt after you've done just saturating your brain with ideas and color, and you'll be able to take it safely with you. So again, just as a recap, you want to have a brand new blades, you want to have a rotary cutter that you love, or this is the time to get a new one. You're going to want to have a cutting mat that we would recommend, a 12 by 18 or an 18 by 24. And you're also going to want to have a 6 by 18 or a 6 by 24 long ruler, in addition to a few quilting square cutting mats. So we would recommend the 6 by 6 from Quilter Select. We have our own, I believe it is now available on our website, the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 fussy cut square that's custom for this seed packet workshop program. So that's something. If you're going to be doing this project not during our workshop and you have purchased the bold blooms, the sizes in here are different. And so what we would recommend for that project is you're going to want to have an 8 by 8 and a 4 1/4 ruler or a 4 1/2 ruler for that project, so that you can be prepared if you are doing one of the projects out of the book. So these are great tools to have. If you already have enough rulers, then I would recommend bringing at least an 8 1/2 inch ruler, a 6 1/2 inch ruler to the workshop, as well as something that's going to cut smaller than a 3 1/2 piece, so that you're prepared for the workshop. And this works for seed packet or for the snowballs. If you are doing snowballs, you don't need the smaller version of the ruler. You just are going to need your 6-inch square for that project. And again, the snowball, country snowball quilt pattern is located inside the Quilt on an English Farm, which this book is included in the Power of Color lecture price that we have here. So if you are lucky enough that you're joining us for that event, October 20th will always be a day that will live in great infamy in our world. So we're just very excited for that Power of Color to launch us into this next way of how we view the world. Other things that we think would be helpful is you want to bring a pencil, some marking pens. This happens to be like a wash away one, but you want to have a variety of tools that you would bring to any class. So you want to have a pencil, you want to have a notebook so that you can jot down your notes or ideas. If you like to sketch something, some people might bring even colored pencils, who knows? So you can bring those things, but you'll want to have a few marking pens. You'll want to have actual pens as well. So those are just our standard pens that we use in quilting. A few other things that are kind of just totally optional, but we think that would be fun, is we love these Caterpillar ruler holders. So this is, it's called the Glow Quilt Clamp series, but this is just a really cute, it's very functional, but this is a great size to ergonomically hold down a ruler if you don't, whether you struggle with grip or something like that. This is going to keep your fingertips away from the edge, and it's going to be safe. It does, anyway, I wouldn't put it on the fussy cutting one personally, because then it would cover up your center, but maybe you would have an idea of that. But you can experiment because it's very easy to detach and put onto different rulers. I also really love the Martelli Mini 10-inch set. This is a special type of round cutting mat. This spins. If you're coming to the lecture, you would have space for an 8 by 24 mat and possibly have this on top. But this is a 10-inch in diameter. cutting mat. So this is going to hold a 6-inch ruler just beautifully. So if you're going to cut and fussy cut something, you're going to be cutting on 2 sides, and then you want to give your project a spin and cut it on the other 2. So I really love this size of a spinning mat. And the nice thing about Martelli's bundle is it comes with, you can always replace this. This you'll never need to replace, I don't think, unless someone ran over it with a dump truck. I don't know. And then this is actually a pressing pad. So that's something. We will have several ironing stations at the workshop, so you don't need to bring your own ironing station. If you are going to pre-treat your fabric with any starches, you will want to have that done ahead of time so that you don't miss out on cutting time during class. As much as possible. But this also could be an opportunity, even if you normally starch your fabrics, that you don't do it for this project, because you could ask Kate and Brandon, do they starch their fabrics? We don't know. So that is going to be really interesting. So that's kind of an overview of the tools for this project. We are going to make a separate video that shows you some of the CAFE colorways that we've curated here at Beehive Quilt Shop. So thanks for watching how to get prepared for the Power of Color Country Snowballs and Seed Packet.